Hey guys, Devin Gridley at All Father Fitness, and today I'm going to be doing a video that a subscriber asked for me. The subscriber is named The Underdog, and he asked me to review a bunch of supplements that are from Nutrilite. I don't know if a lot of people have heard of them. He said that they're pretty popular and that he's heard of them a lot and he wants to get a good review on them, so I'm going to do that for him. And they have a lot of different supplements for, they have vitamins, weight loss, protein, they have all types, so I chose a select few out of the ones that I thought would be good to talk about and show whether they're worth it or not, or if they actually work or not. So let's get right into it. So the first thing we're going to be talking about is this muscle multiplier. It's an essential amino acid. So the way I went about this is, if you actually study how amino acids work and how protein works and how it pertains to building muscle and such, amino acid is really not as good as a lot of people say. They say that it's going to basically take away all your soreness. It's going to, decrease how sore you will be, basically. And if you do more research into it, you realize that taking just a normal protein supplement like this and this is actually a lot better, especially for soreness and actually building muscle, than amino acids ever could, because in an amino acid, whether it's EAAs or BCAAs, you don't get all the aminos you need, and you don't get enough of them. Even with that supplement, you have to eat a lot of food, usually things like steak, chicken, things like that that are more meaty and, really nutritious, I guess. They just have a lot of different nutrients in them. That's what I'm looking for. So amino acids really aren't all what people say they to be. I say it's much better just to have a normal protein shake or whatever instead of taking BCAAs and EAAs. And I know I might look like a hypocrite because I do have these things right here, and I have, these tiny little ones. I did not buy these, and I've only bought BCAAs once in my entire life, and really even then I still thought that taking a protein shake just made me feel less sore than BCAAs ever would. So how I'm really going to go about this, talking about this BCAA and the other one I'm going to talk about, is specifically link them to how they look compared to these two that I actually have. And these aren't even the ones that I'd normally go to. These are just random ones that I literally got as a gift. So first thing we're going to go over is the amino acid blend, right? Has 3.6 grams. And if you didn't know, 1,000 milligrams is 1 gram. So 3.6 grams. So if I look at, this is specifically BCAAs. If I go and look at what exactly this has, I know you can't see it, but just L-leucine, which is probably the most used amino. It's in every single one, whether it's EAAs or BCAAs. It's the first one right here. And in just this tiny little container, I have 1.5 grams of just L-leucine. That's almost half of just all that. And I know you can't see, but I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 other amino acids in this little container, while this one only has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and it only accounts to 3.6, and the first one is almost half. The two after that are another 1.5 grams, so it's at 3,000, and then all the other ones are 200 except two of them, which are 500. So that's already pretty close to 5,000. So that 5,000 milligrams. So that would be 5 grams. So obviously this is a lot better. This is a lot cheaper than this. I know that for a fact. This probably cost, all four of these things by themselves probably cost a good, I don't know, 20 bucks maybe, and this is $45, and I find that pretty ridiculous. So we got that one out of the way. Now we're going to go to the actual EAA, and this is this one. The first thing I notice about this is the fact that it has 8 grams of carbs and 2 sugars. Any supplement that you get, it shouldn't have any sugars, especially if it's a BCAA or EAA supplement. It shouldn't have any sugars or any carbs, really. The only thing I'd say that carbs are good to be having is probably a protein shake. This has carbs, but this only has 2 grams of carbs per serving and 1 gram of fat, which I don't really like, but it has a specific type of protein that gives it that special fat, and that's why. But in any supplement, you don't want to have any sugar in it, and for a BCAA, I don't think 18 grams of carb is really gonna do a lot for you. So this has sodium, which is actually pretty decent. A lot of people don't understand that sodium is actually really good for muscle growth, because So what salt does is pull water into your muscles more, and the more water you have in your muscles, the faster it can utilize it to build muscle. So that's really good. I don't know the specific number on how much sodium you need to have per like pound of muscle or whatever for it to actually, be beneficial, but keep in mind that salt and sodium, they are actually good for muscle growth, contrary to popular belief. And then this has vitamin C, 11 milligrams. It's not a lot. Magnesium, 220 milligrams, not a lot. Potassium, 400 milligrams, still not a lot. It's not enough to where it'd still be beneficial. Having anything is beneficial, obviously, but having such a low amount, don't think it's gonna, make or break your recovery. You know what I mean? So in this has these little turmeric root extract and arolla fruit extract, all these random little things. And this is another thing that don't think it's going to make or break your recovery. Don't think if you take, turmeric root extract or ashwagandha root or something like that, that it's going to like boost your metabolism or your testosterone levels or your recovery. Like, it's not going to make or break your recovery, really. And I'm pretty skeptical about these things because they're not 100% proven. Like, if you look up, is it proven that protein builds muscle? Yes. Is it proven that protein builds muscle? Is it proven that my creatine supplement helps build muscle by creating more ATP and gives you more energy? Yes, it's proven. These things aren't proven. They're just, when people take them and they get some type of result, it could be other things, really, and it's not proven. It's like saying, oh yeah, weed helps cure cancer. Like, that's not a proven thing, but there are studies saying that it could help, you know what I mean? So don't think that this is such a huge big deal, right? But in the BCAA blend, it has 1 gram. Now, if I look at my actual BCAA, I have 1.5 grams of just L-leucine, and this only has 2 BCAAs in it, 2 aminos in it, or 3, sorry, there's 3. 3 aminos, and this has, I don't know how much I said, 10, 12, something like that, and the first one already beats how much this had in it, so this obviously just isn't what it should be, and this is ridiculously expensive for what all this is inside of it. So I say that that's not really worth it either. So we'll go on to the next one. So I don't think you guys can see this, but this is supposed to be an energy drink, and it costs $28, which I find ridiculous, but we're going to get into it. So if you look at all this stuff, it has a lot of vitamin B6, which is really good, but should you pay $30 for 1 dose of vitamin B6? I don't think so. Same with B12 and all this stuff, right? And it doesn't say that there's caffeine in it, which I find it weird since it's an energy drink, but if you actually go and look at the product details, it has 80 milligrams of caffeine. That is not really a lot. It says comparable to a small cup of coffee, which is true. Coffee ranges from about 50 to 100 milligrams, but this is an actual pre-workout, and just in caffeine, this is 150 milligrams, which is pretty decent. It's not a lot to where you're going to be, jumping off the walls, especially if you've been training and taking pre-workout as long as I have, but it's not like low enough to where you're not going to feel it, if you know what I mean. And this also has a bunch of aminos in it, has a crap ton of aminos, really. It has beta-alanine, and it has creatine in it. It has 2 grams of creatine in it. This cost me probably, I think I got it on sale for $15, but it was originally, I believe, $22, and I get 30 servings instead of 1 serving that this little drink would get you, and it's over what it is. So I do not recommend this at all, as well as any other canned energy drink, because you get more bang for your buck doing an actual pre-workout like that. So next thing we're going to talk about is the protein powder. So this has a lot of stuff in it. A lot of stuff. So I don't know if you guys can see this, but it has 2 grams of fat. It has 11 grams of carbs. It has, I think, 8 grams of sugar, that says. Yeah, 8 grams of sugar. And it has 23 grams of protein. You get 18 servings. And then it has a bunch of sodium. It has a bunch of BCAAs, only 500 milligrams. If we go and look at this, so this costs probably roughly $60, somewhere around there. They dropped from when I first ever got this protein. I think it was like 40 something dollars on Amazon, and I got this for 60 at NutriShop, so obviously it's going to be a little bit more being in an actual store. But this has 24 grams of protein, so it already beat it on the protein. It has 5.5 grams of BCAAs. It beat it on the BCAAs. This thing only has 1.5 grams of fat. That thing had 2. This also only had 4 grams of carbs, and that had 11. And this thing has 2 grams of sugar. That thing has 8 grams of sugar. So, yeah, it's really not looking too hot for this one right here. Yeah, has more BCAAs, has more protein, and if you look at the price of this, I don't know how to get out of here. There we go. The price, $55. I said this is roughly $65 for it to be completely better. Really has what over quadruple the amount of BCAAs, and it has 2 grams more protein in it, and it has more servings. That's a big deal. This only has 18. This has, I believe, 30, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, 68. It has 68 servings. Just kidding. Okay. It has quadruple the amount of servings, which means you basically get over quadruple the amount of protein for the exact same amount of price. So what I'm getting for these is that these, all these supplements are really, like, they're not bad at all. Like, they're pretty decent, but they're way, way overpriced. And I don't know if it's because it's being sold from Amway. I don't know if Amway owns Nutrilite or not. I don't really know what's going on with that. But if you could find them cheaper, maybe they'd be worth it. Like half the price of what they're listed all over this site. So, yeah, so far it's just not looking too hot for all these. So, sorry. The guy never asked about CBD cream or any type of CBD. At least I don't remember reading about it. But I wanted to cover this because it is a pretty big thing, whether you're doing bodybuilding or you're doing powerlifting, even MMA. It actually started in mixed martial arts and specifically jiu-jitsu. And the reason being is CBD cream, CBD drops, anything CBD, it actually relieves inflammation without taking, a blood thinner or anything that could possibly negate your recovery like a blood thinner would or anything like that. So it relieves things like that, and specifically not just CBD, because the CBD, like I said, it relieves the inflammation and it helps with aches and pains like joint pains. That's why it was such a big thing in jiu-jitsu, is because you're getting your joints locked up and stuff to be cemented. So this might help with the pain that maybe you did get cemented and you hurt yourself or whatever. But I wanted to basically extend the CBD cream to actual weed like THC. And besides THC doing all the things it does, I'm sure you guys know what it does, but a lot of people don't realize that weed is actually pretty good for bodybuilding, I guess. It doesn't do anything specific to muscle building, but what it does do for people that are pretty small, if you smoke weed, you get the munchies, obviously. You eat a lot of food, and for little guys who are ectomorphs and they have trouble getting food down, weed is really not a bad option because it makes you hungry. You're going to eat a lot more. If it's illegal, don't go and smoke weed, especially since some retard on the internet told you to. Like, yeah, that's not really a good excuse, but if it's legal and you have the option to do it and you have trouble putting on muscle because you just can't eat enough food, weed might be that solution for you. But besides that, it's not really going to do anything extra for you. And do I think this little tiny can of CBD cream for aches and pains and inflammations and stuff is worth $44? Not at all. Not at all do I believe that. So, yeah, that's what I got on all of the little supplements. I tried to, span it out because all of them they had protein bars, protein chips, protein pouches, and actual, those are all basically the same thing. They're all just going to be protein, and they're just going to be made different ways. So I tried to arrange it from a bunch of different things. The EAAs, the BCAAs, the protein, the CBD, the energy drink. I should have just ranged it out so you guys could get the most amount of information about each thing. And hopefully you learned something. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. I hope you did. If you liked the video, please press the like button. If you like hearing my beautiful, beautiful voice talk about random crap that you could care less about, please hit the subscribe button. I'd appreciate it very much, and I will see you in the next one.